Okay, so some channeled messages for the collective. I actually started a live earlier that was about fairies and secrets and crying. And then the electronics didn't want that to come back on when I came back in to the room. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Please only take what resonates and leave what does not. Obviously, there are billions of channels, both literal and metaphoric, that you can connect into. If you are connecting to the work that I'm doing, then thank you for being here, and thank you so much for remembering to click like, particularly if you do actually watch this video. And sharing it will definitely be very appreciative. Yeah, and I'll appreciate it too. What's the other thing you can do? Like, share. What's the other one? Subscribe. You can also subscribe to my channel if you would like to continue supporting the work that I'm doing here. Okay, so you may have noticed the title of this video is Telephone Telepathic. And I thought I'd just open up a conversation about this thing that I experience. And I don't know if other people experience it. And I don't know if, yeah, I just wondered if it's something that other people experience. Which is about trying to talk to people on the phone at the same time as being telepathic. Oh yeah. Also, I keep getting like guided to potentially give some like tips or pointers on if you feel like your work is being plagiarized. If you feel like your work is being plagiarized, there's like some really simple basic things that you can do. Yeah. Okay. And please excuse. It's a beautiful sunny day where I am, so I am soaking in all of the solar magic. Oh look, they're letting me have effects. Sometimes, oh no, that's just a retouch. I wonder who designed the retouch. Like, how does the retouch work, you know? Is it like, how does that work? I wonder. So yeah, I might make that video about some helpful things that you can do if you feel like your work is being plagiarized on the internet. Don't know why that's coming through, but that's a special message for somebody. And if you subscribe, then you'll definitely make sure that you catch that video when it comes out. Yeah, so I've noticed that I've had this problem for years and years, but I really am understanding it now in a totally new way of I really struggle to talk to people on the phone because I can hear, like telepathically, I can hear, and obviously multiple other senses, multiple other clairs, what they're thinking or not saying, I guess. And it's been a huge problem. It's been a huge problem for me in lots of my friendships, lots of my relationships, even my connection to my family, because it's like you'll be on the phone, and maybe you've experienced this. You'll be on the phone and you're talking to somebody and you can hear the words that they're saying with their mouth, with their audio, but then you can hear like a second conversation, like a second line of words, like their thoughts basically. You may be going through ascension symptoms. A lot of us are going through very major ascension symptoms at the moment. That can be a mouthful to say. And like more leveling up, more expansion of our gifts. Um, yeah. And I just wondered, I guess I was just wondering if other telepathic people have this issue too. And yeah, it's like interesting. It's like, what are those other conversations? They're like other timelines. Where do they go? Where do those conversations go? You know? This is Codes of Harmony. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting to me. Yeah. So please give me clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Sometimes I feel like we are birthing a new language, and it's like, you know, when the baby's born, it's like can come out actually like, you know, jaundice or like a bit pink or like a little bit bruised. And you know, babies can take ages for their hair to grow, for their teeth to come through. There's something about the rebirthing or the recreation of a language that's taking place at the moment. And it's somehow connected to this message around telephone telepathy. And I don't know if it's a problem that lots of people who are telepathic have. If I'm one of the few people, I definitely wouldn't be the only, I'm sure. But yeah, I do know that it's created like huge problems in lots of my relationships because lots of people don't understand why I won't talk to them on the phone. I think some people even take it personally, and it's like, it's not personal. Like, there's nothing like actually having a conversation with somebody in person, you know? There's nothing like actually being able to energetically exchange in real time, in real, quote unquote, real space. Um, yeah. You might be experiencing level ups in your telepathic gifts at the moment. You'll be one of many if that's what's happening to you at this time. Please give me clear and divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. It's interesting for me also because I work with frequency, because I'm an energy worker as well as a tarot reader and a channel and an oracle, blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of like we are being asked by spirit at this time to really honor and respect our own frequencies, individual frequencies. I'm seeing radio waves in my mind, my mind's eye. I'm seeing, like, you know, when you look on a hot road on a hot day, or I guess like in a desert environment, and there's this like wavy, kind kind of haze that goes over like the surface of the earth. I'm seeing that at the moment. Please be clear divine guidance. So there's something about telepathy, there's something about telephones, there's something about digital communication. I just heard astral communication, I heard astrology, astrological symbols. I just heard redefine, repurpose, reshape. It's almost like the shape of Earth is like changing, but it's like the light body of Earth is changing, and we are directly connected to that process, and we're directly part of that process. I'm seeing a seashell in my mind's eye, which always makes me think about how, like, when you're a kid, you used to like put the seashell to your ear, and you still can, right? Shout out to the inner child of us all. Put the shell to your ear and you can hear the sound of the sea, is what they would say. And then as you grow up a little bit, scientists start saying, well, actually, that's actually just the echo. They claim that it's the echo of like the sound of your own ear. So there's like I don't remember the full technical explanation, but there's something called the cochlea inside of your ear, which is, from what I understand, kind of like filled with some type of fluid, which is part of how you work out your balance, right? Your sense of balance. And then there's also obviously like your own blood rushing through your body. And so this scientist decided to explain that this is just my recollection, this is my channeled messages. Only take what resonates, of course. That what you're actually hearing in the shell is the echo of your own blood pumping through your body, and that fluid inside of your cochlea, inside of your ear, right? I'm pretty sure that's if I'm remembering correctly. And I feel like maybe that's an interesting metaphor to look at, because that really is not as magical as thinking or the idea that you're listening to the sound of the ocean in the sea. Sorry, in the seashell. Yeah, it's definitely not as magical. It's not as mythical. It's not as because that was kind of like you could take the shell home from the beach, which, by the way, you shouldn't take too many shells home from the beach. Only ever do that if you feel absolutely spiritually guided. Even more so if you know that you're on another people's land. Make sure you have consent and permission from those people of that land. I could make a whole video about that, but that's not what this is about. And the idea that you could take that shell home, away from the ocean, away from the water, from the salty magic of Mother Ocean, who I love so much. And that you could still hear the ocean. And that's kind of like, I feel like that's a little bit like telepathy. Well, that's the way that it's coming through, right? That's the way the metaphor is coming through right now. Please give me clear divine guidance, be most beneficial for everyone involved. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being you. I hope you're doing well. I send you love and peace. So maybe that's like a metaphor for what's happening at the moment. It's like some people are comforted by getting a scientific explanation for why you can hear that sound in the shell, right? And are comforted by this kind of logical um, explanation for how that's happening when you listen to a shell, a seashell. And then other people are more comforted by the beautiful metaphor of, and of course there's beauty in logic, there's lots of beauty in logic as well. The metaphor of being able to hear the ocean. And I was thinking, well, maybe both are true, you know? There's this incredible author that I have been following their work here in this space, and they do this amazing, like just incredible, expansive, evolutionary, healing, educational work about plasma, which I'm particularly interested in, and which is particularly important, connected to my physical vessel and my lived experience. And she was talking about how the monsters that we have grown to recognize, they are things that are inside of us. You know, that these monsters, we create monsters with our minds. This isn't, I'm not quoting her verbatim. And these different, like, monsters, demonic things are like, for example, trauma, etc., etc. And I feel like that is, in lots of ways, very true. But I also know the old gods are true. And just as real as me and you. And then I was like, okay, so now they're showing me, like, you know, humanity being on the telephone with the ancient gods. Odin, I'm particularly seeing at this time, who we all must learn from, because nobody wants to know absolutely everything. That's why I try and let things shift and move and don't hold everything in my mind from every moment that I channel, because I just would not be able to function. Oh. Okay. Alright. Yeah. He's not wanting me to talk too much on that. But I guess you get the metaphor. Water, when we talk about water, we're talking, or, you know, not just water signs astrologically, but the element of water, as well as water within us, the emotions, the depth, the that which is constantly ebbing and flowing, that is mutable, that is connected to everything the element of water is. And salt is a very powerful, potent. I did a channeling about salt a long time ago, close to the start of this space here. And salt is a protector. Salt is a spiritual protector. You know, like, for example, casting a ring of salt around you. But it is also a but it is also a physical, like, literal antiseptic as well, right? It can help the wounds heal It can help um, cleanse things, purify things, and in that way, and it can also change the format it's in. Well, ooh, 2030 on the tick over clock. Okay. All right. Well, that might be the channel for this minute. I'd love to hear if anybody else has this problem of like struggling to, not liking to, or struggling to, or having finding it difficult to talk to people on the phone because you're telepathic as. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. There's something else they want me to mention. Feel the presence of Hecate. Bless, bless. It's also interesting that salt is in your tears. It's funny because the other message that came through earlier was about fairy talk um, and secrets and crying and how important it is to be able to cry. Just feeling the waves of your emotion still. Come here, kitty, 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 kitty. So much love from Coach Harmony. Ridiculous.